So I love seeing him come out into play because it just makes me feel so correct, and it's always so fascinating. So we are going to see that Bon come into play, which is going to be really, really interesting. You know, can utilize those bombs to get that quick down. How do you think Bon will be able to shape up against this team comp here?
So Bon does have the ability to deal chip damage. He is not only a single hit hunter, so I think that could be advantageous for Moru because we do have the Seer here who can block a hit for himself or his teammates, as well as the Entomologist who, with her speed, can do a really good job of not letting traditional hunters catch up to her. So I think, you know, with the Bon here, Moru can attempt to counter those characters. I think that having some characters like Forward and Coordinator do help the survivors, though, in being able to pull off rescues, because, as we know, Bon is such a strong camper, and a lot of times that can turn things around.
And we're going to head right in here, and we're going to see the spawn picks. You know, you always want to get those people on the stops. You want to be able to get that coaster. So that's going to be your instantly. And Moru selects a space kind of right by the bridge there, right near the Coordinator, which is very interesting.
Right. I'm actually a little bit surprised to see Seer go for that Bridge Cipher spawn there. A lot of times we consider that to be a little bit of a dangerous spawn. So we will see if Moru decides to go for the Seer there due to that spawn location. But a couple different choices for sure.
You know, that Coordinator can be really strong with that gun if the kiter is very, very skilled. But in that same vein, you know, you want to be careful. You want to make sure that you don't utilize that thing too early. And we are going to hop right into the match here. First match of the day. I'm Veronica, this is Lychee, and we are going to get you right started. So Moru is approaching that spawn, just as you mentioned, you know, that dangerous spawn. And, you know, any good player transitions away from there pretty quick.
Yes, for sure. We see that Seer is already looping his way around the bridge and will be kiting around the 2-story and second stop roller coaster area. We see that Cerebus actually has brought the roller coaster over to the second stop already, which may allow Seer to utilize that as a part of his kiting strategy as well. And at this point, you know, the owl is ready for whenever he decides to use that. So we'll see how this chase progresses here.
We're just looping around this pallet area here. That owl can be a little bit dangerous if it's got with the bomb. Oh, and takes a main body hit from the Bon there. So going to transition over to the stop here. And the coaster is there and is able to use the coaster to transition across the map, Lychee.
Right, just gaining so much distance from the Bon by using that roller coaster. That was really good coordination from the Forward, the Forward there and the Seer, but the teleport coming into play now, so Moru decides might as well change target and close in on another survivor there, so has caught sight of the Entomologist here, and the bees have already been hit, so she does have to rely on her raw kiting skill against this Bon here. These bombs here, one of them already chipping the Entomologist and another one here from the Bon. So really accurate bombs by Moru so far. The Seer's Owl has to come into play to block that another hit, Veronica.
Yes! Going to Terror Shock off of the coaster from Moru on the Entomologist here. Really, really fascinating gameplay to watch. You know, that owl was utilized and then narrowly even moved to dodge hitting that and taking that hit cooldown. Just really able to predict what's coming from these survivors. And 4 ciphers remaining still.
Yeah, Moru there showing how skilled they are with those chain bombs as the Bon, being able to place down one bomb and then the next bomb at the very, very last minute in order to chip Entomologist to half health. And really good job on the timing as well in order to basically negate the effect of the Seer Owl to prevent Entomologist from pulling away even further right there. But we do see the Forward is positioning himself in place for a potential rescue. We'll have to see if he decides to go for a rescue or not, because the chair is approaching half, maybe going for a rescue before chair takeoff there, although Moru is pressuring quite far out. So we'll see. He is returning back to the chair now, though. We'll see if the Forward decides to rescue or not at this point, because there is also the option to stall and sacrifice the survivor as well.
Absolutely, you know, with a lot of ciphers remaining at this point. utilizes the teleport to get on the other side of the forward, but the forward just uses that ball in order to dash over because there was no pallet in the way, and gets a free rescue off because of that play, which is very fascinating. And the bees are back online for the Entomologist to make it all the way over here. Going up the coaster area, the coaster could be here, but unfortunately it's not after the mishap with the down earlier. And we're just going to see a chase around this coaster. You want to build as much distance as you can against this Bonbon here. And Moru's Bonbon is really a beast, it's really hard to get out of this chase here. And the down on the Entomologist with the remote bomb.
Oh, wow. That was just a really surprising sequence of events there. Moru there with a little bit of a premature teleport allowed the forward to just utilize the football and give the Entomologist a second life, at least bring out that tide turner time to buy time for their teammates to decode. And we see now they only have 2 ciphers remaining, 3 survivors with full health on the map. So if the next survivor is able to pull off a pretty decent kite, their survivors might be able to try to go for a tie here as well. But Bonbon here now closing in on the coordinator, who does have a gun left here, Veronica.
Be utilized. We have the teleport in play, which means that there is excitement, and now 1 chip away from a down. So Moru's bombs so far have been really accurate, and another accurate bomb that does right away take down that coordinator. Still going to be utilized, so if rescued off of chair has that item to work with, and 1 cipher remaining now, so they could potentially get this primed and come for this coordinator right away as soon as it's ready. But maybe positioning more early as the forward is coming in, just to get ready, just to prepare. You want to be there in time. The situation last time, you want to be careful with what you do. Those bombs, just the patrolling was really good. And a main body hit, which means that Mori's going to have to chase back the way over to that chair. Or actually teleports over to where the Seer is trying to find that cipher, Lychee.
Oh my goodness, yes. So the cipher there was around 90%, I believe, but unfortunately not able to be primed before Moru made that teleport over to the Seer. So very aggressive teleport to try to buy more time to flip this game around here. Seer is at half health and Moru does have that remote control bomb to try to take the Seer down. But we do see the other 2 survivors there. Looks like they're booking it for the cipher there. Moru there luckily was able to spot them and chase them away. So he is going to have to commit to camping this cipher here, I think, if he made that decision to teleport. We'll see if the survivors can try to heal up between the 2 of them, or maybe just start another cipher and try to pull the Bonbon away from this one, depending on what they decide to do for their next step here.
Absolutely, Lychee. There are so many ways that this can go. That cipher is so close to finished. I can feel their pain with wanting to be able to head back over there and just get it done. But they might be better off starting another cipher. Moru is patrolling the area with these other ciphers in it in order to stay safe. You don't want to get them to be able to get anything primed. And the Seer is in this area hiding, who Moru kind of knows is here, doesn't know exactly where he is, but manages to spot him out now in line of sight and is using those bombs yet again to potentially get another down.
Yes, and we do see that he is closing in on the Seer there, but the last bomb was not able to land that chip on the Seer here. So we'll see how much time Seer can buy. The other 2 have healed up already, and down Seer goes. So Moru is going to have another chance to camp. This could be an advantage for him to at least get another survivor on chair, waste one of the survivor lives, but potentially be able to hopefully try to turn this around if he's able to cut off the rescuer. I do see the coordinator coming over though, and she does have a gun left, so should be able to pull off this rescue if nothing goes wrong forward there on the prime cipher as well. Now I think Bonbon just needs to try to get that Seer down without attack recovery, but if he's not able to do it soon enough, avoiding the gun by the coordinator there.
Man!
My goodness.
Right behind
Seer
that
down
pole.
by the remote.
Oh! And the cipher is popped!
Down by the chip. My
yeah,
goodness.
down by the chip and in a good position there after, that gun miss, and now the coordinator has nothing to work with and has to hopefully kite Moru just long enough for everyone else to get an exit gate open, which may be possible, maybe not. We want to see what's going to happen here. Really interesting gameplay all around. That was such an action-filled pop and sequence of events.
Yes, and we do see the coordinator getting down here on this side. Meanwhile, forward's gate is about half open, and Moru does have teleport left. So let's see how quickly he can get them on the chair and whether or not Moru will decide to make that teleport decision or not here. And he does. He makes that teleport to the gate, but the gate is already open and the forward is going to be able to escape. Meanwhile, we do see Seer there, who is running towards the coordinator's direction there.
Might just go right in for this rescue in order to try and, get more players on the field. And if there is it happens to be enough time, may get there, may not. It could end up with a potential 3-man somehow just on their side after this wonderful play of, just doing their best and really pushing for it.
Yes, I think it was a smart decision for the Seer to, be halfway through in case Moru did make an early teleport. But now we do see that 2 survivors are kind of on the chase here, on the run here from Moru. And they are able to down the coordinator fairly quickly. And now Seer's the one in danger, actually, is going to have to make a run for it. I think that, Moru's going to have to try to get the Seer down quickly or else have to run back to the coordinator, because as a hunter, you do want to make sure you secure at least a tie for your team, but is able to get the Seer down. Will he be able to make it back to the coordinator? But looks like just playing it safe, getting the Seer on the chair first. The coordinator's gate is actually not open yet, so they would actually have to run pretty far to get around to the open gate. And we'll see if Moru is able to make a foot race here. But it looks like coordinator might actually be hanging around the dungeon side as well to try to kite this out until Seer's chair flies off. That is another option.
Yeah, going to hide around this dungeon area here, but, Moru's just got excellent game sense, knows exactly what's going on, suspects maybe hanging around the dungeon, maybe not headed over to that gate. So trying to take the long way, trying to loop around this tent here to see what can be done. Could potentially make it to the dungeon if those bombs can be avoided and Moru does not get close enough to get a main body hit. And it looks like it could be potentially gearing up to a draw situation, Lychee. Going right in, just need to make sure that the dungeon opens in time and is able to loop back over. Oh, and Moru manages to land that hit.
Oh, and actually picks up the survivor just in time before they're able to crawl to the dungeon. So it looks like this is going to be a clutch 3-kill situation for this Bonbon here. I have to say congratulations to MP's Hunter Moru for being able to turn this around. It was a really exciting game there, but that end game, I think, is where they really managed to use to down the coordinator in time to be able to make that teleport, but then come back as well. So on the survivor side, I think when you have 3 survivors left in the game at endgame, you really do have to make that choice. Do you take that gamble and have both of your survivors that are still standing be at the exit gate, or do you have one come back and make that rescue while the other one escapes? And in this case, I think there wasn't anything wrong with the survivors necessarily letting the Seer come back to rescue the coordinator, but that was, in the end, what gave Moru the chance to be able to down both in a very exciting...
Here with the Hermit from Gotcha!
I am super excited for this. But now coming in here to the spawn selections, so we do see that Toy Merchant appears to be looking at the first stop there, Acrobat on the last stop, which is a pretty classic spawn point for the Acrobat to choose. And then the female dancer going into the 2-story ghost house here with forward there on the Cypher Bridge, and Gotcha's Hermit spawning the same place as the Hunter did last time, there near the second stop. So this will be quite interesting here. Hermit's a Hunter, that can do so much, apply a lot of Cypher pressure, and while having options to help with his chase at the same time, does have the option to try to stun the survivors a little bit as well during the chase. Also has options to traverse a lot of distance in some ways. So has definitely a Hunter that has a lot going on. But if anybody can pull this off, I think Gotcha does have a really strong opportunity here.
Yeah, and we're going to start right off, right into the gameplay. This is going to be great, going right from Anomaly here, transitioning over just to get that female dancer. And these slow boxes, they're a pain for the Wax Artist, and they might not be as much of a pain for the Hermit with those stuns. Gets a spin right into that pallet there, and is going to try and mind game this pallet against Gotcha. Has a separate polarity from the other teammates, so that creates an interesting situation with that, but not yet ready to be changed, so there's not much that they can do to help. And takes the first hit now now going to transition up and away, and that dancer has that ability that allows her to get a little bit faster when she jumps from high spots, so that might do her well here as Gaje continues the chase.
Yep, and we did see that Gaje brought Insolence as well, and currently looks like already has a level 1 presence there. Female Dancer there already has damage being taken, and look at that, Hermit just being able to traverse such a large distance across the map in such a short time there. We do see that Anomaly was able to already get off the roller coaster and speed to the other side there, but Hermit being so quickly using the skill to hide the red light there as well to try to catch up, but unfortunately ran into the wall situation there. Female Dancer utilizing the slow box there though was able to buy a little bit of time, but my goodness there, Veronica, that first, the blink coming into play now, and Female Dancer goes down.
So my goodness, and with 5 ciphers remaining, but kind of unsurprising despite how much they've decoded them, the Hermit really prevents you from cipher rushing, and also was able to get so much distance down. And the interesting thing too is if Gaje chooses to continue to camp this chair fully, the Hermit does have that ability that can stun people and prevent them from rescuing, which could create a very interesting situation at the chair here. There's a lot more mind gaming than there is with some other hunters, but leave it to Gaje. Place the Wax Artist who proposes the same kind of sticky situation for a rescuer coming in.
Yes, and we do see the Acrobat is actually coming in here, potentially trying to go in for the rescue. Does use a bomb there just to close in on the chair, and was actually able to get Female Dancer off before half there. So this does activate Tide Turner for Female Dancer and give her a little bit of time to run away and allow teammates to decode. With a hunter like Hermit where they spread out the cipher progress a lot, the survivors really need all the time they can get in order to speed up, in order to buy time for themselves and get those ciphers done. So we will see how much time Female Dancer can bring out here, because we do see that actually it's been a while since the Tide Turner has ended already, but Gaje coming in there with that stun there, so was able to apply additional damage on Female Dancer, yet still has to wait another time to be able to actually take her down here.
My goodness, there were so many plays there. I felt like just so much going on. And Terror Shock off of the coaster after all of that. The flywheel into the pallet, the stun on the Hermit, the coaster usage, the swap of the polarity in order to prolong this Female Dancer's kite. There is so much going on right now, Lychee. And 2 ciphers remaining on the playing field to be done. Changed that polarity earlier, and doing it again, just wants to prevent these ciphers from being completed. Wants to spread out the progress as much as possible in order to prolong this game. The issue, however, is that no one is able to come in to rescue. So, it's very likely that they're going to have to sell this Female Dancer on the chair and take 3-man standing at the end game.
Right. We do see that the other survivors are making an attempt to heal. Toy Merchant did get healed up there and does have a Tide Turner left, but the survivor there in the vicinity is actually the Acrobat, and they decided to just let the Female Dancer be sacrificed there. So we should see the Hermit go on to the next chase. Looks like Forward is the survivor closest in vicinity, but does still have a full football left. So, but the Blink coming into play now and taking down the Forward here.
Wow! So much fun gameplay from Gaje to watch today, just using those stuns and really getting across the field. And that was a beautiful Blink that just managed to get that Forward right down and placed on the chair. So now the only person who can rescue safely at this point in time is the Toy Merchant. You can utilize that polarity on the side of the Acrobat, but it is a little bit risky. If you come in with that much damage, you do want to be safe about it, even if it could possibly go all right. But is actually going to come in here, utilizing that red firebomb in order to get rid of some of those abilities, which means they're back in play, which means there can be a stun on the chair here that will prevent this rescue from going off right away. Just going to repeatedly stop this and stop it and stop it. You want to have that Forward right on elimination, which is exactly what Gaje does.
Yes. Oh, and the Acrobat, unfortunately, goes down very quickly here as well, and is put back on the chair there. No Tide Turner for the survivors anymore, unfortunately. But like you said, that series of stuns really allowed Gaje to prolong the camping there, so that Forward's chair went past half. So not only does he have the Acrobat on chair now, although it's a different survivor, switching targets here, the Forward is going to be on the elimination as soon as he goes on the next chair. So definitely being able to pull that into his favor there. Really excellent camping there by Gaje.
Now patrolling the field, watching everyone on this map, just thinking, well, these survivors are injured, they're probably not going to go for the chair right away, so it might take a little bit too long for them to get there, which means I'm safe to leave. But kind of, patrolling back, seeing if he should head back, looking to see if there are any catapults here, looking to see where the survivors are, and getting in position to teleport all the way across the map again, right to this chair. The rescue goes off, but Gaje is right here to stop them from getting away too far, Lychee.
Yes, Gaje on the hunt here for the acrobat, trying to just nail down another elimination. Meanwhile, the other survivors, we'll see if they can try to heal up while their health is, at least the forward there, maybe. But we do see that Gaje is actually switching targets again, potentially. Just going to try to change targets to add additional map pressure and target whichever survivors he can find here. Looks like the forward, though, is actually going to be the next one up being chased here and closing in Gaje there, coming in with the stuns, the polarity change there, and eventually downing the forward here and putting forward on the chair once again. So really taking control of this map. The survivors have one cipher remaining, which actually they're working on 2 different ciphers here, both with quite a bit of progress. But it will be really hard for them to try to kite this out against Gaje, who does have Blink back up again to aid in his kite, in his chase as well.
Absolutely, and basically has teleport as well with how well he aims those balls to get around. But we're going to see him approach the toy merchant here, who does manage to get away with that catapult and is now going to fly away. The polarity has been changed so that if one of them takes damage, they don't go around right away, which means that potentially a cipher could be primed in time to have 2 survivors up for endgame. But is going to stun, going to try and change that polarity, but it does not work, which means that the hit is taken and they are both still up, but going to use this teleport to get even closer. And so much going on, and just so much, and the blink is used, which really adds on and gets that toy merchant right down, who can now be, and they actually choose to surrender. Wow, Lychee!
Wow, so that's going to be a 4 elimination on Gaje's side. We saw there in the end, both survivors being the same polarity caused them to both go down with that last hit, taking the same amount of damage there, and no choice there in the end. Nobody left to rescue or decode that cipher, once they both go down. So really we just saw a lot of dominating gameplay by Gaje here, bringing out the Hermit and showing how strong the Hermit can be in this kind of tournament setup here. We did see a really interesting gameplay from the survivor side as well. The female dancer actually in the beginning really managed to pull